welcome back everybody to another episode of Varsity Views Inside the Huddle edition, brought to you by Keystone Sports. I'm Jax Gregory.
And I'm Darien Jackson.
And week 8, we saw a lot of very close games, and you can count on that those will be in our top 5 games of the week. Starting with number 5 game of the week, Nordonia versus Stowe.
This was actually a pretty good game. Pretty decent scoring, too.
Yeah, Nordonia seemed to be the much better team coming in at, I think they're 5-2. Stowe had only won 1 game so far. So, didn't really expect this game to be that close.
Yeah, you really expect a team like Nordonia because they've been really solid all season. Mm-hmm. Like you said, they're already 5-2. So, I mean, it was already expected for them to beat a team that only had 1 win on the season.
Starting off the game, Nordonia opened it up like you would want to. They went on a 98-yard opening drive, and they would score a touchdown from quarterback Joey Palinkas throwing a 15-yard slant to receiver Israel Petit to get Nordonia on the board 7-0.
I'll be kind of salty on 98 yards, though.
Yeah, that
98 yards, like, couldn't nobody touch that man on the way up? Like, come on now.
No, not. But Stowe would respond early in the second quarter to tie the game at 7 from a 50-yard passing touchdown.
Stowe ended up just really taking over, though, in the first half. With them only having 1 win, though, it was like, bro, we got nothing to lose. They came out, got a field goal, went up 10-7, scored another touchdown. More points on the board, man. No, like, they was really killing Nordonia for a minute.
Nordonia was looking rough. At halftime, it was 21-13 Stowe. They're at home, so maybe this momentum keeps going for them.
Yeah, the atmosphere of having the home crowd probably was like, oh, yeah, we feel pretty good.
Being the underdog, beating a very good Nordonia team. I mean, they had it was probably very loud there, and they were probably very excited for what they were seeing.
But don't say it too soon, because Nordonia was not going for it. They came out of that half. They didn't let them score again. I'm sorry. Stowe did not score again. Nordonia wasn't having it.
Yeah, Nordonia would end up tying the game to end the third quarter, 21 apiece, and then fourth quarter, it was all Nordonia Knights. They ended up scoring another touchdown, kicking a field goal. Final score was Nordonia 31, Stowe 21. Stowe losing once again. Nordonia getting another big win on the board after losing the past 2 weeks. And the player of the game was Nordonia quarterback Joey Palinkas, who was 18 for 24, had 205 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed 8 times for 88 yards.
My man, that man was out here putting in that work, man.
Yeah, he's a real good quarterback. He's one of the better quarterbacks in high school football right now, I think.
Oh, man. Hey, quote it right now.
Yeah,
you never know who
I've seen him play a lot.
Right,
I've seen him play a lot this year, and he's up there.
That's your territory area, though, for you at least. Like, that's you right there.
Mm-hmm. And if you'd like to read more about this game, you can go to KeystonSports.com and look for the author Ty Kohler. He wrote an article on this Nordonia versus Stowe game.
Coming in at game number 4 is Padua versus NDCL. First of all, I ain't never seen a team name look like that. That's just nothing but abbreviations. It stands for something.
Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, I'm pretty sure.
Well, don't quote us on that. Never seen that before. But this was actually a very nice and tight game. Like, the final score ended up being 21-14 Padua, but this was a very nice, close game.
I mean, first half, kind of boring.
Yeah,
no scoring at all.
I wonder if it's more like defensively, you really want to pay attention because you're just seeing the amount of stops and energy and commitment that the teams are having for one another, not trying to let nobody get in the end zone to start the game. And some games, it's kind of hard to see a whole first quarter or sometimes a half where there's no score at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's rarely happened. I don't even know if it's happened this year, if we've talked about it at all, but I barely ever see a 0-0 first half game.
Yeah, but the first quarter, no score. But the second quarter is where all the action takes place.
You mean half?
What?
Not quarter, half.
Second quarter?
Yeah, because it was 0-0 at halftime, so there was nothing going on in the second quarter.
You're right. I got my tools mixed up. Hey, we gonna cut that out.
No.
Coming into the second half, Marquise Hall scores the very first touchdown of the game, making it 7-0. But which is even funnier is that they came right back. So his name was Burt. I don't want to say his last name because I might gut it, and it might be accident.
It's Buell.
Buell. So yeah, Burt Buell scored a 6-yard touchdown, tying the game at 7. But Hall came right back and scored another touchdown, making the game 14-7. Hey man, numbers get jumbled up when you're reading them. It was really close. Like, both of these guys are really going back and forth. One's a junior, one's a senior. And they're literally scoring now. Like, you didn't score in the first half. Yeah. And now it's like, come out of halftime,
now it's
like,
opened up.
Yeah, we got to put some points on the board. But it wouldn't surprise you if I said that Burke scored again, right? Tied the game up at 14. So,
yeah,
both of these guys.
Fourth quarter, tied at 14. Anything can happen.
These guys are going back and forth. And I feel like they knew the ball was going to go right back to Hall. Mm-hmm. So, guess what? Two-side. Two-side gets his own score, putting on a 20-yard touchdown, putting the game on his shoulders now. He done broke the ice now. He done broke the tie. Scores now 21-14.
Padua was on top.
Yeah, but eventually that's literally how the game would end. Like 21-14. NDCL, aka say I don't know it, bro.
Notre Dame Cathedral Latin.
Yeah, they didn't have no time left. They couldn't score, so hey, good work to Padua because really good work to both teams because neither team scored in the first half, so it was really a defensive effort on both. But I feel like they said, all right, we're going to just slow down on the defense. We're going to go all offense, and that's literally how that happened. Yep,
exactly. And the player of the game for Padua versus NDCL was Padua's running back Marquise Hall, who had 2 rushing touchdowns and also 100-plus all-purpose yards. So he was everywhere on the ground, catching passes, doing everything.
Hey, man, shout out to you, big dog. Make sure you guys go on KeyOnSports.com. Check out the author, Tyler Baca. He wrote an amazing article about this game, and I know he had just as fun watching it as he did writing it.
And coming in at game number 3 on our countdown is Black River versus Keystone. Now, this was an anticipated matchup. And to start off the game, Keystone, first drive, 7-0, touchdown, taking the lead over Black River. But Black River would respond in the first quarter, and at the end of the first, it would be tied at 7.
I mean, that's what you expect from a team that's in the exact same conference as you.
Yeah.
That's literally what you want to see is, go head-to-head. No one likes to see, a one-sided game. You came for that action. So, for the game to be tied off rip like that is amazing. But, however, Keystone would break the tie, going up 14-7.
Yeah, at half. And that's when Black River said, enough of it. Black River would come out at halftime and score 21 unanswered points. 21 unanswered.
Talk about a great game plan.
They were leading 28-14 in the fourth quarter, and with 1 minute and 33 seconds left remaining, Keystone would end up scoring a touchdown to make it 28-22, but Keystone would go for the onside kick, and it would fail, and Black River would recover the onside kick and win the game 28-22. So a huge second half from the Black River Pirates. Just great offense.
I mean, again, that's great coaching. You literally went into halftime and said, all right, y'all, enough is enough. We're either going to win this game or you're running laps. That's how I pictured it going inside because that's what you say, and everybody like, no, I'm not running. So, you got to come out and perform. I like that. That's a good dub, y'all.
Yeah. And the player of the game was Black River Pirates running back Blake Hopkins, who had 2 touchdowns. And if you'd like to learn more about this game, you can go to KeyOnSports.com and look for the author, Lindsay Reitz. She wrote a great article. Be sure to check that out for us.
Coming in at game number 2, we got West Branch versus Alliance. I think we actually had Alliance recently.
I don't remember ever doing Alliance, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like the name just was too familiar in my mind to realize.
Maybe they were on a preview something.
Hey, it could be very possible. But however, though, this was a really good game. Very tight, high scoring.
Yep, high scoring. Yeah. I always love to see the high scoring games.
It makes you feel like action was happening non-stop. Like, you just love to see it. But West Branch came out of the game hot, 7-0 to end the first. That was it. That's me coming out hot, by the way. Just being on the board in the first quarter, you started off real good. Great defense for you guys, and you also scored. So Alliance was putting in that work in the first quarter. That's all them.
Exactly. And then in the second quarter, Alliance would end up tying it up at 7 apiece.
But guess what? We trading more touchdowns. That's what we really love to see in the games, man. They traded touchdown. Both teams would score 14 points.
Each in the second quarter. Yeah. And West Branch would get the slight advantage because with 6 seconds remaining in the half, they would score a touchdown to take the lead 21-14 at half.
I know that. I feel like that's one of the
it's a heartbreaker.
Upsetting things to have. At the end of the half, you're just one play away. We're going into this game tied, which essentially when you come out, you think to yourself, hey, boys, like, the game is 0-0.
Yep.
We just have to outscore them the second half, and we go home, and we win. And the fact that you just let one go with, 6 seconds?
Yep, 6 seconds.
Crazy. So, that's good work for West Branch, but Alliance, man, y'all got to come out and, just do that much more.
Yeah, and they would, honestly. Alliance came out at halftime. They tied it up early in the third quarter, but that's when West Branch kind of took off. At the end of the third quarter, it was 34-21. They gave themselves a nice cushion heading into the fourth, up by 13. They really feel in control. And Alliance, they would battle back a little bit. At a point, West Branch would be up 42-35 with 14 seconds left in the game after they scored. 14 seconds left.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Not even tough. Like, that's very, very close. Like, you're only a touchdown away. You scored, we're going to overtime. Unless, like, in your mind, you're thinking we're going to go for the win. But you're one touchdown away from tying this game, forcing overtime. 14 seconds left. What do you do?
Yeah. Alliance got the ball back. They couldn't score, couldn't get a miracle play, and that would be the final. West Branch, 42. Alliance, 35. Player of the game was West Branch QB Drew DeShields, who had 283 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and then he also rushed for 62 yards and had 2 touchdowns. So he was really doing it all.
If you guys want to tap in and read this article, make sure you guys go to keonsports.com. Look for the author Tony Bogan. He did a very great job. He's been a regular.
Yeah, he's always on here.
Yeah, we've had him quite a few times every week, man. He's great.
Shout out Tony. And coming in at number 1 in our countdown, the number 1 game of the week, Avon Lake versus Elyria.
I feel like this was the number 1 game of the week because of how crazy it ended.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a defensive battle.
That is facts.
But the ending was... well, you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah, you're going to be one... If you were there and you weren't standing on your feet, out of your seat... Oh, that's a bar on accident. If you weren't standing out of your seat, you're going to want to stand out of it now if you listen to this because just the way it ended was crazy.
Yeah. But start off the game, Avon Lake would go up early 7-0, which is surprising when you hear the end score of this one.
I know, right?
Yeah. But this game was filled with tons of turnovers, tons of penalties. I mean, the teams were coughing the ball up. They'd get inside the 10-yard line, fumble. Throw an interception. Inside the 10-yard line, either one. It was all over the place.
It was bad.
Yeah. No score in the second quarter, so it remained 7-0 at half with Avon Lake on top. No score in the third quarter either. No team could get anything going. Avon Lake still ahead, 7-0. Then fourth quarter came. 10 minutes left. Avon Lake punches in another touchdown to take the lead 14-0. And with the way Elyria has been playing, you don't see them scoring at all. You don't see any comeback happening.
Quarter,
yeah.
And it was 14-0.
Yeah.
And we were already in the fourth quarter?
Yep.
Nah. Man, we need memes. Elyria will really come back and fight their way back. They scored 13 points.
Yeah.
It's 13 points.
Yeah,
now, mind you, 13 points, and there's literally seconds and, well, I'll say like just a few minutes.
Hold on. When Elyria's first touchdown came with 1:27 left, 14-7, Elyria scored to make it 14-7. Elyria would recover, Avon Lake was expecting Elyria to kick an onside kick. So they're lined up in their onside formation. But Elyria ends up kicking it long, so there's nobody back there. And Illyria's players, they get down there just in time. They recover the kickoff, and it's their ball inside the 20-yard line. Elyria then punches it in to score for 14-13. Avon Lake up by only 1 point now.
Now that's crazy. All this in a minute and a half, which you could not do in almost four full quarters.
Yeah.
You were able to do this in a minute and a half.
Elyria could either tie up the game, go to overtime, which now looking back on it, we've said this past week, just take the point.
And mind you, they were a part of 2, maybe 3 weeks ago when they lost 34-32,
yeah,
or 30-32 in that range, and they tried to go for 2 like every single time and did not make it.
Yeah, so they end up going for 2. They get it, but that's when the 23rd flag of the game was called, so that doesn't count. They get pushed back. Then Avon Lake ices their kicker. So they're like, oh, we're not going to kick it now that he's iced. Let's go for a 2-point conversion again. On this try, it's an incomplete pass. But there's a roughing the passer for the 24th flag of the game. So now Illyria is even closer to the end zone, and they could get an easy 2-point conversion. But before the snap even gets off, there's a false start. That was the 25th flag of the day. Mind
you, they actually completed. They actually completed it.
That first one, the 23rd flag. They would have won the game.
That was the dub.
But like I said, there was the 23rd flag of the game, then the 24th flag of the game. Now we're at the 25th flag of the game on a false start. So
I want to know who was keeping track of all these flags. Literally, like, did you just pull that number out of thin air, or did they really have a record? Like, man, there's 25 flags in this game right now. Like, all of this, I bet you that game, there was a minute and a half left. I bet you it took like 15 minutes to get through. All them flags?
Yep.
Come on now.
And on the fourth 2-point conversion try, it was no good. Forced pass broken up. Avon Lake escapes with the win, 14-13 over Illyria in an all-time what just happened moment.
I'd be upset. No, for real. Like, I would be upset from Illyria. Like, we finally can get a completion on 2-point conversion. I'm feeling like 2-point conversions ain't for them. That's just what it be looking
Their
like.
Their kicker must not be able to kick. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I know, right?
Maybe he's hurt. Maybe.
I mean, you really see the go for the win. But I just be like, man, just...
You haven't been able to score all game. You finally get the score. Like, just take it to overtime. Let's see what happens.
But I also see that the momentum was on their side
that's
at this
true.
point. So if you want to score it and we win...
makeshift onside kick recovery. Like, okay, we got all the... We scored off of it. Somebody
was over there talking like, man, I'm like, we got
and
ice
I mean,
in the
what
veins.
are we saying? They did get it, but there was a flag.
There's a flag. So. No, if I'm them, I'm like, no, forget that flag. You've been throwing flags all game. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Like, I bet you they caught it. Crowd goes crazy. And they hear, like, little, like, it's over with. Talk about there's no words to explain how that game ended.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We can just easily and honestly say that Avon Lake walked off lucky.
Yeah, they are lucky.
Very,
Avon
very
Lake,
lucky.
Player of the game, Hayden Blosser, had an interception, and he broke up the final pass attempt on the 2-point conversion to win the game. So, shout out Hayden.
Good defense. Hey, we always reward good defense.
Yeah, and
good work.
If you'd like to figure out who kept track of all those penalties and read his article on this game, you can go to keonsports.com and look for the author, Jake Zappia. He wrote a great article keeping all those stats, keeping all the penalties. Great job, Jake.
Good work, man. And as y'all know, we're coming to the end of the show, but we got to give you guys a previews. There's a lot of good games that's going to be coming up.
You're going a little too far-fetched there, buddy.
Man,
we still got Player of the Week.
Man, we don't care about the player. No, I was playing. Go ahead.
We didn't even talk about this game because it was kind of not close. As the game I covered, Barberton running back Xavier Macon had 262 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they upset Aurora in Aurora for a huge game that nobody saw Barberton winning. Just shout out Xavier. He was running all over them. It was crazy. Breaking off huge run after huge run after just exhausting the Green Men defense.
Did you say a game that you covered?
Yeah.
And it was not on the list?
Well, if you go on our website, it was actually, he won the Player of the Week on the website.
I think it's biased. No, I'm playing. That was good work, though, man. 4 TDs.
Yeah, 4
TDs. We love to see somebody.
yards.
Yeah, we love to see somebody get all that action.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, getting into the top 5 games that we will be previewing for you guys for Week 9. We're literally almost done with the football season.
Yeah, flying through it.
Yes, sir. Coming in for number 1, we got Buckeye versus Holy Name. Buckeye is 7-1. Holy Name is 5-2. But Holy Name is really solid.
Yeah, we've talked about them a couple times, and then we talked about Buckeye one or two games, I believe. So Buckeye, we know, has that high-scoring offense. You know, earlier in the year, they put up 60-something, 50-something, 50-something. They can score the football.
And it's a team that's only got 1 loss but 7 wins, so expect some magic to be happening for them.
Yep, exactly. And then another game to look out for is 6-2 Kenston versus 7-1 Riverside. Both teams looking like they're playoff bound. This will be like a playoff atmosphere almost. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup.
Game number 3, we got undefeated 8-0 Highland, who is ranked 30. Mm-hmm. Versus Aurora, who is 6-2. Yeah. Aurora is a really good 6-2 team.
Yeah, they just came off that loss against Barberton, like we said. They were expected to win, but this is going to be a great game. It's a real test for Aurora. See if they're really legit. They could beat these teams and to keep them in the playoff hopes.
Top 30 team, and a team who has not seen an L yet.
Nope.
There's not too many undefeated teams left either. I think there's like 5, maybe
might be
6.
a little.
Like,
I don't know.
There's very few. Like, it's very hard to go through a whole football season and just go undefeated and not see a loss. Like, they don't know what defeat tastes like right now.
Yep, not
So,
yet.
yeah, not yet. So they want to. Aurora could be the team to do it.
Exactly. And Aurora is home, so that's big for them.
That is true. So, and winning on the road is always hard to do.
Yeah.
So, if you're Highland coming into a place like Aurora, like, all right, pressure's on. It won't be your first away game, but
Yeah. And the next game we're looking forward to is 7-1 Firelands versus 4-4 Black River. Black River just won a great game against Keystone. Watch them maybe upset Firelands in this one. I think it'll be close.
Yeah, Firelands coming in at 7-1. So that's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is Olmsted Falls versus Avon Lake. Olmsted Falls is 6-2. Avon Lake 7-1. I didn't realize that Avon Lake was 7-1. As we just, that's crazy to see that 7-1. They could be really 6-2 right now.
Yep.
If it wasn't for all them flags, if it wasn't for all them flags saved them. But I just did an Olmsted Falls game. And, Olmsted Falls is looking really good. They got some really good pieces over there. A lot of guys that love to run the ball. They love to run the ball. I hope nobody from Avon Lake listens to this because out here giving out the scouting report. I ain't going to say no names, but, they got some stars on there. They got quick feet. So, but Avon Lake going to be real tough. I think this will be a good game.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully it lives up to the expectations and we could maybe talk about it in the preview. These are always previews. Nothing's ever set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to turn out the way we expecting it to because if it doesn't, we're just going to push it to the side.
Exactly. But that's about all the time we have for today's show. This has been Varsity Views Inside the Huddle edition. Make sure to follow our Facebook page, Varsity Views, and follow us on Instagram at varsity_views.
We keeping updates. We keeping tabs. Come on now. This is high school football. Everybody loves it. You want to know who's doing what.
Yes, sir. So this is Jax.
And this is Darien.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.